Hey everyone, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to talk about one of the most important people in the Bible, Abraham. Now, before we get into it, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. It really helps us out a lot. So, Abraham. Now, Abraham is considered the father of the Israelites. He's mentioned over 200 times in the Old Testament. His story is told in Genesis, chapters 12 through 25. Abraham is the one to whom God made the first promises of the covenant, that his offspring would become a great nation, that all families of the earth would be blessed through him, and that he would have a son when he was very old. Now, before becoming a Jew, Abraham was called Abram, which means exalted father, and he lived in the city of Ur, which is in the land of Shinar, which is in the country we today call Iraq. God then told Abraham to leave his home and go to the land of Canaan, which was the land God had just shown him. So Abraham packed up and he did just that. And when he was in Canaan, God appeared to him again and renewed the promise of the land for him and his offspring, saying, "To your offspring I will give this land." Then he built an altar there and called on the name of the Lord. In Genesis chapter 15, God spoke to him again, this time about the nations that were very far away from him, that his descendants would be taken to, would enslave them for 400 years, but that God would then judge the nation that enslaved them, and that they would come out with great substance, and after that they would return to the land of Canaan and receive the land as an inheritance. And God made a covenant with him at that time and gave him the sign of circumcision. In Genesis chapter 18, 3 men came to visit Sarah and Abraham, and they discussed the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. And Abraham bargained with God for the people of Sodom, saying that if there were 50 righteous people in the city, God would not destroy it. And he went as high as 10 righteous people, but God said that he would spare the city for 10 righteous people's sake, but he destroyed it anyway. And 2 of the men who came to visit Abraham were angels, and they took him up to a mountain and showed him the promised land. In Genesis 22, God tested Abraham, commanding him to take his only son, Isaac, whom he loved very much, to offer him up as a burnt offering. And Abraham set out and went to the land of Moriah and offered up the ram as a burnt offering instead. As Abraham grew older, his wife Sarah wasn't able to bear children anymore, so she gave her servant Hagar to Abraham as a concubine. And she conceived and bore a son to Abraham, whom they named Ishmael. But God then said to Abraham, "Hagar, your wife, you shall send away. The boy whom she bears shall not be your heir, but your offspring shall be from Isaac." And when he was 14 years old, Isaac had a similar experience with God as his father had, where God appeared to him and blessed him and told him about his future offspring. After this, there was a famine in the land, so Abraham went down to Egypt to live there for a while, taking his family and livestock with him. Alright everyone, that's all we have for you today. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and subscribe so you can be notified when we release new videos. And if you are ready to further your biblical knowledge, then join me through my Scripture Companion app and course, link in the details. Until next time everyone, God bless you.